Should go on right there, eh? It's Danae here from Danae Losey Outdoors. I'm just in the backyard. I'm going to try to give you a garden update. So this is kind of a big mess right now at the moment because I've been away on vacation and we just got back a few days ago, and so if you could tell by some of my videos or my shorts, and also my wife's channel is Disney Canadian, one word, Disney Canadian. She mostly does just shorts. I'm trying to convince her to do longer videos, but we'll see how that goes. She doesn't really like to talk on camera, and obviously I don't mind it, and I actually don't shut up, so I do a lot of talking on the camera. So I'm just a little under the weather, so like I said, I'm going to try to get through this. So I did a little bit of planning before we left, and the timing was bad. So we left, I don't know, it was mid May, and I usually like to get my garden weeded and some things in the ground, and anyway, it didn't work out, so I couldn't do it, but I did plant some stuff. So and I think I did some short videos on that, but I'm just going to go through here now and kind of show what's kind of happening. So right in here, it might be hard to see, but I have some peas that I sowed in the ground, and it's really hard to see right now because of I just went through and it was just a big mess. And yeah, so it looked just like that. So what I've been doing is ripping all that stuff out. It's pulling out real easy, and then I'm just laying it down as a mulch. So I have like 3 rows of peas right in here, and so I'm just going to give this a couple of days, let this green material kind of burn off and die on here as a mulch, and then later on I'll come and put some wood chips on it and kind of run some netting, and then this will be kind of done and ready to go. Right in here, I did a video earlier this spring, and I planted 300 onions. So 100 red Spanish onions, 100 yellow onions, and then 100 white onions. So right in here in this batch of 100. So I just went through and weeded all of these. And earlier this season, I guess, we had a lot of tomatoes. So we canned and bottled a lot of tomatoes last year, and we still have a bunch. And I mentioned to the wife that this year that might not happen because I didn't get to plant. Usually I plant my tomatoes in pots, trays, and have them all ready so that this time of the year I can get them in the ground. So I basically told her that, hey, we're not going to have any tomatoes, so too bad, so sad. But looking in through here, and it's going to be hard to see, but these are all volunteer tomatoes. All in through here, these are all volunteer tomatoes. So when I was weeding in through here, this is just full of tomatoes. So I'll do the exact same thing over here. So there's another, of course I'm standing on some onions, so it's the same deal right in here. So these are all tomatoes from last year. So that happened last year also. So last year, I think in here I had potatoes planted, and from the year before I had tomatoes growing in through them. So what I did is I pulled all those and transplanted them way over here in that mess over there, and so I had tomatoes growing over there. So that's the plan. I'm probably going to be able to leave tomatoes growing with these onions, hopefully. If not, I'll transplant them. So what I'll do is I'll get a couple of beds ready over on this side over here again. So what I'll do is I'll chop all that down, lay a bunch of cardboard down, cut the holes just to put the tomato transplants in, and then cover the whole thing in wood chips and choke that. And that's what I did in here last year. Yeah, and it worked out pretty good. Here in a bit, I got to get my clippers, and I have them over there on the fence, but this is kale that's getting ready to seed, or actually it's just flowering now. So I don't want kale growing all over the place. So this is kale from last year. So I'll just trim that back. I have a pile of seeds saved, so if I ever want to plant some, I can do that. So this is the garlic right here that was planted last fall at the end of deer season. So I forget, I think it was around the November 21st or something like that. And the same deal here. Actually, before we left for vacation, I went through and weeded this, and it looked just like the onions. It was just a mess. So I pulled all the weeds, threw them all down, and it looks pretty good there right now. So that's the plan. In this row here, I got to weed that. There's a bunch of willow sticks that I stuck in the ground. So over on the other side of the house, I have a bunch of pink willows. So the tips of them turn pink, and when you trim them, they get brighter, and all the new growth looks really nice. So whenever I trim them, I stick the stems in the ground, and then I'll have a bunch of transplants grown here. And what I'll do is I'll give some away and bring them up to the camp, plant some up in there. And so right here on the end, the garlic, that's elephant garlic. And I believe this is my 3rd season with that elephant garden, or garlic. So it's doing a lot better. So yeah, hopefully it was just one bulb, and they're not splitting yet. So I guess it takes a few years for that to happen. So hopefully this year that will multiply, and then I can save some to eat, and the rest I will save and plant them in the fall. So I can't remember, I did a short video last fall, so I think there's like 167 garlic bulbs planted in here. And then I had all my garlic last year planted in another bed way over on the other side of the garden. And so I specifically planted the garlic in here because it was ready to go. I do have a pile of other garlic growing up in that old bed, and I don't know what I'm going to plant in there, or if anything, I might just let it rest for the year. And I have at least 2 dozen garlic growing over there. So I should have lots of garlic this year. I like to have enough to transplant each year, so we don't have to buy garlic, or we don't have to buy garlic seed. I'm not sure how good this video is going to turn out because everything just looks green. Anyhow, like I said, that's just a quick little video. Earlier I was up, I was just watching YouTube and sitting on the couch, not feeling great, and just thinking, just going to lay around, do nothing. And then I ended up watching a buddy of mine, Sparky 506 Adventures. He was out doing some watering in his garden up at his camp, made a hillbilly watering system, and I thought that was pretty neat. And with him and his girlfriend Cindy, the two of them were out working, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get up and try to get some stuff done. I think here in a bit I'm probably going to head up to the wood lot. I haven't been up there in probably 3 to 4 weeks, and hopefully it doesn't rain, and it hasn't rained here in a bit, and I like to get out and do a little fishing, see how I make out. Hopefully I can get some trout, and if I do, I'll probably do a video on that and keep you updated. Anyhow, that's it for now. So if you could like, share, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching. That's the end there, eh?